I've been trying I've been literally trying a long time to figure out a way to make this video. But it's like, okay, I got a friend. I got a friend. I'm not gonna put this friend on blast. But a while back, this friend could not get the theme to It's a Wonderful Life. Now, it's an old movie that centers around this guy named George Bailey. And it starts when he's a kid, he has a guardian angel watching over him, and he, throughout his life, he touches the lives of other people. And it's a Christmas movie. And then he loses his money for the he loses a lot of money. And he feels like he's going broke, all this stuff. So he says, he tries to kill himself, but the guardian angel that watched over him jumped into the lake or the river, and George saves him. And then he says he wished he was never born. So the angel grants his wish. And then George tries to go back to his, life, but nobody remembers him. Everybody thinks he's just some dude. And so, that's just how it is. Like, how would it be like if you never existed? After you lived and touched people's lives, it's like, fuck it, I never existed. Like, I wish I was never born. And you see how life is. So I remember my friend was like, he didn't get it. And so I'm like, really? And so, but this friend likes movies just with no supernatural themes to them, or sci-fi stuff goes over his head, just completely goes over his head. It's just like, wow. And I remember growing up in high school, he liked movies, he used to like these particular type of movies, the criminal lifestyle movies, because it was just easy for him to get. And so I'm just like, okay, that's cool and everything, but at the same time though, it's just like, broaden your horizons, man. I mean, it's just like you like the same types of shit. And I was like trying to get them to like understand these type of things, but it just won't. He just won't get it. And so like the Amazon Prime show came out called Them. It's about a black family that moves from, I think, North Carolina to California in like 1952 or 58. Of course, white people don't want them moving next to them, but then a whole bunch of supernatural like shit happens. And it's like, he was like, oh, I can't follow this movie because it's just like all over the place. I don't get it. And even though this movie would basically be up their alley, but it's like, nah, because of the supernatural shit. Like, is it real? Is it not real? I just don't. I can't follow the movie. But they like Godfathers of Harlem, and I'm like, oh man, like, come on, dude. It's like little shit. It was like little shit like that. But his younger brother, though, they get the supernatural shit like this. Like, they like, like the sci-fi. They get anime. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get a lot of things. You know what I mean? But then yet again though, his younger brother, the younger brother almost acts with this, like, I don't want to say an air of superiority, but it's like he believes sometimes he believes that he is something different. He believes that he is something different. But what he fails to realize, that he is no different from his older brother. He might think and look different, but if the I'm gonna say this, if the younger brother gets too familiar, it is not going to work out for him, and he's going to be crawling back to his older brother asking for help. But since it didn't happen to him yet, not all the time, he's still walking around like he is a new dude. So I'm just sitting back and I'm like, yo, you really think this? You see what I'm saying? And it's just like it is just a weird dynamic. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought that. And truth be told, I'm basically caught in the middle. I'm caught in the middle of the older brother and the younger brother. At the same time, though, I have more in common with the younger brother. But I knew the older brother longer. But I was still like always looking at the older brother like with the side eye. Now I like what the older brother, like, cause we grew up together, and we kind of have this, like, you know, we like the same, like, older music. I don't like the younger brothers. I don't like his shit. But like the stuff that, like the movies and the anime and all that, like, oh, I'll rock with him. It's just like, cause I remember the older brother used to always talk about Scarface all the time, the movie, and I'm kind of like, I remember a long time ago, this had to be like '09, so I was like, you know what, let me watch this movie, and it's a classic movie, but I just wasn't feeling it. I'm just like I was just never feeling Scarface. Now I like Al Pacino though. Now that is one of the classic actors. But I just never was feeling that movie. Like the older brother. And it's like, you know, he had this like thing like, yeah, I, you know, get that money and all that. But I'm like, dude, do you know what happened to Scarface at the end? He got shot. He died. Like, I mean, wouldn't you want to be like somebody that lives or something? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, now the older brothers, he got a little wiser. And it's kind of like, he should have been more like the younger brother. But it's just, it feels like it's kind of, I'm not going to say it's too late for the older brother, but trying to act like Trying to get into the same space as his younger brother seems like you a little too late, dude. Like, people try to tell the older brother, stop. You know what I mean? Before something happens to you, which in his life, things have not gone in the older brother's favor. It just hasn't gone in his favor. Even his father, you know, he thought one way. And you know, the father. I mean, the man fought. I mean, he put in real work. The man, he put that shit down. But it was like he built his house on sand. Like him, he got the materials. He said, I got blueprints. I got a foundation. See, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put concrete in the sand. And I'm going to keep scooping out the sand every time I dig the hole deeper. Water may come in. But it's like, it was a good plan to build this house on sand. It's like, but you building it on sand, but the concrete thing, like if it hardens, you know, under the sand, okay, but you're doing more work by digging the sand out every time you keep going down. Water seeping in, the concrete ain't drying. But if you hold the ties at bay, it was like he put in too much work. And then it was like, not saying he didn't put too much work. He put too much work in this plan. He put too much work in the plan. Where if he would have applied the same work somewhere else, then then the father's life would have been easier. Then his sons and younger sons would have all benefit from it, and it would have been a different story. But the father, he put in work, and it didn't work out. Like, in the long run, it did not work out for him, because a lot of other people just stepped over his father all the time, just stepped over the man, and he took it. And so his son said, fuck that. But he, you know, he had to grow up. He fell into a lot of traps, but he got out the traps. He's kind of still in them. You know what I mean? The younger brother's in the trap, but not as bad as his older brother. But the younger brother's like trying to act like the traps don't exist sometimes, or, you know, I could intellectually get out these traps. The older brother's like, I know how to get out the traps, but it's just like, okay, what are you doing though? You're not doing nothing about the trap. You're just like, I'm just sitting here telling you about the traps, and this is how you defuse them. But the older brother wants somebody to defuse the traps for him. And I'm just like, you know, like, but at the same time, you know, it's just a crazy it's just a crazy dynamic we all find ourselves in. Just all of us. You know what I'm saying? And then there's like one of the dude, like the younger brother, he kind of wants to be liked, but he's kind of finding out that his peers don't like him. You know what I'm saying? And then it's crazy because the older brother and the younger brother, because, you know, they have friends and everything, but the friends are always talking about them behind their back. And the two brothers bend over backwards to help out these other friends. I see it all the time. But the other friends of the older brother and the younger brother, they just they heat up on him. They shit all over him all the time. But every time the friends are in trouble, the two brothers they go out there and help out the friends, and then the friends, they really don't be like helping them out like that, and that's fucked up. Even it took me a long time to see the shit. I'm like, wow, like this is how these friends treat y'all. And it's like the older brother's kind of like, man, fuck them, no. But then he just keeps going back to him. It's like an abusive relationship. He's like, fuck them. But every time they say something, he be right there. But then sometimes he be like, you know what, man? I'm not fucking with them no more. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of them using me and my brother. But then they be like, you know, yo, we need help. And they be there. And I'm just like, wow. It's just real crazy about these brothers. It's real crazy about these brothers and these friends. See, I don't fuck with either of them, really. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of look at the friends like, damn, like some of them are cool. Some of them are cool. But then it's like, okay, these brothers, I'm going to try to describe these brothers. When you go to their houses, I mean, they got nice shit all over the place. And they really worked hard. They even helped their friends to get to live good too. But then it's like the friends are just like, yeah, fuck that. And they heat up on the brothers after they helped them get their lives going. I mean, they really helped them get their lives up. I mean, they were like deep in the community, helping the friends get their shit together. Then once the friends got the foothold, then that's when all the hatred start coming in. Just straight heating up on them. And it's sad. And these dudes, and the thing is, these two brothers are very smart. They're like real smart. They're clean. They got nice shit all the time. You know, they worked hard to get what they got. But it's like, just because the friends be listening to other friends or acquaintances, and they really don't be seeing them like that or see how they got it. But when they get it, it's like they really didn't get it the right way. They didn't get it like how we got it. But you got help from the brothers. And then it's just a weird dynamic. It's just a weird dynamic. And these friends did not come from a place that anybody would really want to live in. You know what I'm saying? And it's like these friends are talking about these brothers, but it's like, my man, did you see where you just came from? Like, you did not come from a place that anybody would want to be at, though. And it's like they only look at the two brothers as one way. It's just crazy. It's just sitting back seeing this shit. It's sad. And then it's just like the community, right? Like there's how many? Like I would say like 4 families of the friends. You know, they got shit from the community. Like, the community actually helped them out. Like, for real, for real. But then the brothers, like, even the father, and even his father. I mean, if it wasn't for this particular family of the brothers that the brothers belong to, the community basically would be nobody, nowhere. But the community gave the friends a good chunk of the shit. I mean, even one of them got the key to the city before. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, some of the friends' families got keys to the city before. I mean, just handing out keys all over the place. But the brothers, they don't get no keys. But then it's just like, it's just a crazy thing. And it's just sitting back looking at this shit like, none of these friends feel like the need to advocate for the brothers. Like, you know what? If it really wasn't for them. I mean, some of them say it, but nobody's really doing nothing about it. And you just letting the brothers suffer, knowing what they did. And then try to lie about the shit. Like, it's this one story, like, one of the families of the friends, they say like, we contribute to this one part of the city, but the brother's family started this project first. But the friends are acting like we came up with the whole project. We did the whole project. And even though the city kind of was like shunning them before, like, but at least you got something out of it though. These brothers didn't. It was just like, yeah, whatever. And they just treated them like trash. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, and it's just like mayor after mayor after mayor, like, helped them out, and the governors helped them out. And there's like the brothers just sat there, was just like, what about us though? And they were like, oh, what about you? And it's just like, it's just insane. But going back to the brothers, it's like, yeah, I be trying to tell the older brother to, like, you know what I mean? Like, step outside of the box. But it's like he don't want to. He really doesn't want to. He doesn't want to step outside the box. And you know why he don't want to step outside the box? I figured it out. I told him about this. The reason why you can't or won't step outside the box, because you think that if you step outside the box, more harm will come to you, or you're comfortable in the box. It was like this. It's like this story called. It's like the gnat in the jar, and my mom told me this story. And you put like, it was like the story, like, this dude put gnats, the little bugs, in the jar and close the lid. And they try to get out, and they keep hitting their head against the lid of the jar. But then when you take the lid off, they don't try to get out of the jar, even though the lid is off. Like, there's nothing, I can't say nothing holding you back, but it's just in this story, you're not getting outside the jar. And I think it's also a story about the elephant the same way. Like, it's a similar story about an elephant. But it's just like, you feel comfortable in this box, and you didn't see any other, like, examples at the time of other, like, people stepping outside the box. So it's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just be in the box. But see, the younger brother, he's out of the box. See, that's why he kind of feels like, I'm slightly better than you, older brother, but reality kind of smacks him down. But he's still like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. It's just this weird family dynamic. And I'm just kind of like I'm caught in the middle. Because even some of the stories the younger brother was told, I didn't hear those stories growing up. You know what I mean? And it almost took a long time for both brothers to really realize what I realized a long time ago. It took them at least, oh man, I can't even say when. It's just been a long time. Like some of the stuff that I knew, see, I was already out the box eons ago. Like at least in the 90s. Matter of fact, my whole life I was outside the box. I was always outside the box. And it took the little brother came along and was like trying to tell me like, oh, this what I seen, this what I know. But I was like, my man, I knew this before you came around. The older brother was like, fuck all that. I'm gonna do this shit. But then now the older brother's realizing like, I shouldn't have been doing all that old shit. And I'm sitting up here like, bro. I don't know what to tell him. I'll just sit back and just be like, wow. And then the older brother, he used to think he knew everything. Sometimes he thought he knew everything, and I'm kind of like, no, bro, you don't. It's just, oh man, it's just, I don't know what to say, man. It's just the tale of the two brothers. The tale of the two brothers. The tale of the two brothers. That's what I'm gonna title this video. That's one of the, like, on one channel is gonna be the tale of two brothers, and then the other one's gonna be something. But the tale of two brothers. See, but I'm gonna say this though. When the two brothers realize to tell the friends, I'm not helping you out anymore, and fuck it, then the friends are gonna be like, oh, how come you ain't helping me no more? Not realizing, like, y'all, look what y'all been saying and doing to the brothers though. Why should they help you out after all this time, after all the shit they did? And then it would just confirm to everybody like, oh, these brothers ain't shit. But like I said, but you're the ones, the friends are the ones who did this shit to the brothers though, and his family. Like, you can't seriously act like woe is me after you talked about them like dogs. You don't even treat your own dogs like this. And one of the friends I mean, they love their dog way too much. I think there's something going on with this family and their dogs. But nobody talks about them though. But they got so much smoke for the brothers. It's just a weird dynamic. And the one that loves their dogs so much, that seems a little out of the ordinary. Now, from what I heard, they've done a lot of harm to the friends and definitely the brothers. That the ones that love the dogs, they're like the ringleaders in the whole thing. And it's just like, wow. And these other groups, these other friends, they don't have that much smoke for the family that loves the dogs, but they be fucking with the brothers though. But like I said, when the brothers say just fuck it, then it'll just be like, oh, see, I knew you was this way, and why are you doing this to us? And it's like, man, what? Even so much so, the family that likes the dogs even had the brother's cousins turning on them sometime. I mean, the cousins, though, it's like y'all mad crazy. Like the cousins of the brothers. Like, why? Knowing this shit, bro. Like the cousins be saying the cousins say crazy shit to the brothers. Now the cousins, some of them say some crazy shit. But there was a family incident that happened. And they just basically, the cousins basically turned their backs on the brothers. But the brothers still like, those are our cousins, they family and everything. It is what it is. But the cousins, man, wow. The cousins are something else. I see where the brothers are coming from. Like, y'all, we still family, but why? Like the cousins be acting crazy at times. Like I said, I'm cutting this video off because just thinking about this, like seeing these dynamics popping up with the brothers and the family, and then these friends. And it's in some of the friends, like I said, some of the friends, some small little pockets are cool. But there's a large like family members of these friends that are just treacherous. I mean, they're just like, wow, really, dude? Now, like I said, some of the small pockets of friends, they get it. And they be trying to tell their older family members, like, yo, bro, the brothers are cool. But the older members of the family, they don't want to hear that shit. Even though, like I said, the brothers' family helped them out. And it's just like, oh. See, sometimes in my life, I'm glad I was the only child. Because I don't have to deal with this shit. But sometimes I wish that I did have a brother or a sister or something, so I just wouldn't be alone. But majority of the time, it's like, I'm glad I'm by myself. Because I don't have to deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have to deal with this. Like, I do deal with it because the brothers they come to me. They come to me. And I'm just like, wow. But it's just like, by not engaging in these friends like that on a day basis, I don't have to deal with it. But I deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no friends, but I have friends. And they rely on me. Sometimes I rely on them. You know what I'm saying? Even though, I mean, these friends, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm out.